Hello everyone, I'm Adib, and today I want to yap a little bit about design systems. So, I, if you look into the work that I've done over the last couple of months, I think you have noticed a certain design system that I like to follow. It's very monochromatic. It has to be very monochromatic, and the UI has to be very dense, and it has to be compact. So styles are pretty much derived from Vercel, OpenAI, and I also think Supabase, considering the fact that how Supabase likes to present like a very compact UI and also linear. So if you go to my personal website, it looks a certain way, and then if you also go and look into the sort of open source projects that I do, for example, Cersei, the documentations, they all look pretty much the same. Very monochromatic, very dense, and if you also look into the sort of applications I build, so for example, um, this is the code editor or the agent editor that I'm building. So it also looks a very certain way, right? All of them pretty much have the same theming or design system. So I just extracted the whole lot of it, and I've called it, well, I named it Atlas. So you can just find it on ui.passivia.dev, which is my website, and you can pretty much find the whole design system there. So you have all the good stuff like foundations and colors. So how do I pick colors? So I have very limited set of colors that I like to work with, and typography has to be very certain. So it's using Inter, which has pretty much become my favorite UI font these days, and also do like myself a little bit of marquee. So you can just see that how it reflects on the websites that I've also built. So so what I've done is I've pretty much put all of this and turned it into a Claude skill or any sort of coding agent skill. So what I mean by that is it has become very tiring for me to be able to whenever I'm creating a new project, to go there and just ask Claude to do the same thing, like build the UI in a certain way. It has to look, the radiuses has to look a certain way. So it has become really difficult and redundant for me to be able to go to a new project or work on an existing project and try to create the UI in a very certain way. So I pretty much you know just took my design system and turned it into a Claude skill, which works really great for me and which I think a lot of you guys will like as well. So for example, you can just go to the get started page and install this as a Claude plugin. So it's very easy to just go ahead and just pick up any project. So and just say that apply Atlas design system, and it's going to work really well. And first of all, it's very framework agnostic, so it doesn't really depend anything like Tailwind CSS. It doesn't depend on ShadCN. So it's like a design system. It's like instructions to coding agents on how to actually build an UI, right? So for example, this is like a very simple to-do app that also looks a certain way. It was just a basically Vite application. I just asked it to apply the Atlas design system. It's very compact and also has all of the blue tick, blue accent characters that I talk about specifically in colors. So so this is pretty much the primary colors. So this is also here in the accent, so it has to be like monochromatic, and also uh, the primary accent is this blue color, but of course everything is customizable, so you can just go ahead and change it. So I also have a couple of guidelines for how the certain components should look like. So for example, this is a button pill, and I also try to put a lot of like panel headers to make it look like an actual application versus a generic website. So also I've got all the commands, which are, these things are very much inspired from how Mac OS. And if you just go to a couple of like full mockups, so I do have a couple of examples on how this works, and there are like a couple of patterns as well. So for example, this is the sort of landing page pattern, and I also have like so I was talking about data density. So this is the sort of data density that you will see in my applications or the websites that I built. And also the mobile apps, they look a very certain way whenever I work on them. So yeah, this is basically all of my design system built into one coding skill, right? So if you go to full mockups, yeah, this looks very much like ShadCN or OpenAI like, but it also has my own personality on top of it, which means data density. It has to use very minimal colors, and things just have to pop. You know, so this is the e-commerce, and also of course there's like a light mode, so it also looks really beautiful in the light mode as well. So this is the multi-agent example that I put together. um, and also there's like a news website, but my favorite one is the stocks application, which looks very beautiful in dark mode. So yeah, this is basically um, all of it are basically how I would design an application or website if I had to, and it can all be accessed through Cloud Code, which is pretty amazing. So I don't really have to go ahead and just explain my coding agents like this is what you're gonna have to do, and it's just not going to generate or create like very generalized websites or applications anymore. So I'm pretty happy about it. So yeah, that's what I want to show you guys. Thank you guys for sticking out, and yeah, let me know. So this everything's on GitHub, so all of it are open source. You can just download or fork this project. So yeah, let me know if you have any feedbacks on top of it. So yeah, see you guys then.